All right, another great day here in Colorado. Coach Scott Horman, and we're going to be talking a little bit more today about what coaches would really like to say to parents. Things that like maybe bother coaches a little bit, but more importantly, things that could help parents really understand what a coach is thinking. Because I'm not sure that happens a lot when parents are watching their kids play the game of baseball. I think the game of baseball is very, it leads itself to allow parents to second guess coaches. If he tries to bunt and it doesn't work, parents up in the stand saying, I wouldn't have done that. And that's great. I think that's okay. I think what I really want to talk about today is, okay, let's talk about the coach does make a mistake and he does mismanage a game. And you're in the car with your son afterwards, or your daughter, softball, and you're talking about that with your son and saying, man, that coach really blew it today. What does that do for the coach? What does that do for the team? And I think that that's what we need to talk about a little bit today. Yes, coaches, we make mistakes. I make plenty of them. I've made plenty of them in my lifetime. And nobody feels worse about that than me, trust me. But when you go into the car or you scream from the stands or you're yelling and everybody and magnifying the mistake, that's when things get a little difficult for me as a coach and other coaches. I've spoken to many coaches and they all say, I just wish that I could coach the team, win or lose. I'll take responsibility for it, but I'm the one coaching the team. I'm the one out there working. And I think that that's something that all coaches would love to be able to do. We joke all the time about, yeah, I'm going to hear that. I'm going to hear it after this one. I'm going to hear it, man. They're going to be all over me after this one. I've called my coaches. I've called my bosses after games and said, hey, man, I blew it today. I really screwed up. I'll never forget my first year coaching at a school. Oh, man, I had been coaching a long time, but they had changed the pitching rules recently, and I had read through them and thought I knew them. I didn't know them. I used a pitcher in a game back-to-back days, and I think I threw him 55 pitches. Well, maybe it was 60 in 2 days. Kid could throw 110 in 1 day, but he can't throw 60 in 2, according to our rules. And I screwed that rule up and had to forfeit a game. Oh my gosh, nobody felt worse about that than me. And I mean nobody. I mean, we had just won the game. I didn't even need to pitch the guy. I was just doing it to kind of strengthen his arm a little bit and make him work a little bit and get some work in. I didn't need to use him. But, again, here we are. I screwed up. I don't need an email about it after the game. I don't need everybody to be talking to their kids after the game about me screwing up. And again, I'm the one who screwed up. I felt horrible. And you think to yourself all the time, you think, man, I don't know how I just did that. Man, I wish I would have done it differently. And you feel horrible because you took a loss when your team won and they played well. And I made sure my team knew that it wasn't their fault. I made sure my team knew that it was all my fault. And it was funny, my kids didn't care. They said, that's all right, coach, we all make mistakes. But I know the parents were in the car on the way home complaining and things like that. I just think as parents, if you did a little less complaining about the coach and a little more just supporting your kid, that would help the team. And team is what this high school baseball stuff is about. Yes, you have your individual goals. Yes, it is important for your kid to play and to get better and to put up good stats and all of those things. But if the parent doesn't buy into the program and the parent's complaining about the coaches and things like that, trust me when I tell you, the college coaches are going to hear that and know that. So I think the biggest part of what I want you to take away from this, and this is important, it really is, parents, yes, you can second guess the coach. Yes, you are more than welcome to disagree with coach's decisions. I think it's part of the game, and we as coaches all know that. And I'm not complaining about you second guessing me. I think the thing that I want to talk about is parents, if you will just allow your kid to play the game, let the coach the game, and then afterwards say, hey, I really enjoyed watching you play today. That's something as a parent, if you could say that to your son after every game, man, would it go a long way in his ability to feel better about the game of baseball, maybe even feel better about his coach. The last thing we want is for players to second guess us as coaches. We want them to be engaged and go, oh, coach tried something new. That didn't work out, but man, that was okay. And I'm okay with again, a parent second guessing. But I want to make sure you understand when you start talking about that with your player, then they start second guessing. Then they talk about it with another player, then they start second guessing. And coaches can't coach when they're being second guessed by their players. One thing we try to do every year is we try to buy in. We try to get in. We try to understand what the goals are and why we're doing what we're doing, why we're hitting a guy in a certain position, why we're playing him in a certain position. Okay, I talk about that with players all the time. And again, for me, I'm done coaching high school baseball. This is for parents that are having kids getting ready to go into high school or kids that are already in high school. Look, you're allowed to second guess. I'm going to say that again because I think that's what's very important. But when your kids start second guessing the coaching, that's when things start to really crumble for a team. I hope you took something from this. It's not meant to badmouth parents. I am not badmouthing parents. Parents, I'm trying to help you help your kid be more successful. I hope you got something from this. Love you. God bless. Have a great day.